It's Jill from Maths with Jill, and today we're going to look at Set 8 of the Pearson Edexcel Functional Skills Level 2 Non-Calculator paper. Let's start with question 1. Eve buys her lunch on the way to work, and she sees this meal deal. And the deal is buy any sandwich, snack and drink for $3.99. Eve chooses a chicken sandwich, a fruit snack pot for 79p and a coffee for £1.59. We need to work out how much money Eve will save using the meal deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out the sum. We're going to add these up and we're going to take it away the $3.99 and see how much money she saves. So to add these up, we'll write them as pounds and pence. So the 79p is written like that, and we have £1.59. We add those up, we've got 5 and 9 is 14, and another 9 is 23, so we carry the 2. 8 and 7 is 15, add a 5 gives us 20, so that gives us 22. Carry the decimal down, don't forget, and then we've got 2 plus 1 is 3, plus another 2 is 5. We've got £5.23, and that's how much it's going to cost her if she bought them without the meal deal. So to find out how much money she saves, we're going to do the £5.23, and we're going to take away the £3.99. So 3 taken over 9 we can't do, so we're going to borrow 10. That turns into a 1, and we've got 13. So 13 take away 9 is 4. 1 take away 9 we can't do, so we're going to borrow 10 from over here. So we've got 11 minus 9 gives us 2. Don't forget the decimal place. And 4 minus 3 is 1. That is £1.24 that she saves by using the meal deal. Question 2. Work out 74.88 divided by 1.2. I like to write these as a fraction to start off with. So I've got 74.88 on the top divided by 1.2. This helps me realise that I need to get rid of the decimal in the 1.2, and I do that by timesing it by 10. And because it looks a little bit like a fraction, it reminds me to times the top by 10. So that means that 748.8 divided by 12. And that's a lot easier to do. So we do 12s into 748.8 using the bus stop method. So carry the decimal up to the top so we don't forget it. 12s into 7 don't go. 12s into 74. Well, 5 12s are 60, so we could add another one to make 6 12s, which would give us 72. That leaves 2 left over, which we put in front of the 8. 12s into 28. Well, the 2 12s are 24. So there's 4 left over. We pop that 4 in front of that 8. 12s into 48. Go 4 times. So our answer ends up being 62.4. Question 3. ABCD is a four-sided shape. BD is a line of symmetry of the shape. Well, a line of symmetry means that if you folded it in half, so BD is down here, draw a little line. If we folded it along that line, then the two sides would be equal. So that means that A, which is X, is the same as C, which is also X. Okay, so one of the facts that we need to use is that the interior angles of a quadrilateral, that's a four-sided shape, is 360 degrees. And if you can't quite remember this, it applies to any four-sided shape. So if we were to look at a square or a rectangle, it has four 90-degree corners which add up to 360 degrees. So that's an easy way of remembering it. Right. So what I would do is I would take my angle B and my angle D and add them up together to start off with. So we've got 108 plus 49. That equals 157. And then we can take this away from 360. So 360, take away 157, gives us 203. If you're not quite sure about doing that in your head, that's absolutely fine. We can do 360, take away 157. 0 take away 7 we can't do, so we've got 6. We're borrowing 10, that turns into a 5. 10 take away 7 is 3. 5 take away 5 is 0. 3 take away 1 is 2. So our two remaining angles, A and C, are equal to 203. So we do, to find the value of one of them, we're going to do 203 divided by 2, which gives us 101.5. A nice easy way of doing this is saying, well, we could divide 200 by 2, which gives us 100, and that leaves us with 3, which we divide by 2, which gives us a 1.5. 101. We're going to use estimation to check our answer. So we'll turn off 360 into 350, and we're going to take away 100 instead of 108 and 50 instead of 49, and that gives us an answer of 200, and our 200 we can then divide by 2, which will give us an answer of 100 degrees, which is very close to the 101.5 we had originally. Moving on to question 4. Max is building a new shed and he has to draw this sketch. Each shaded wall of the shed is in the shape of a trapezium and the two other walls are rectangular. Max wants to cover the 4 walls with wooden cladding. He's not going to use any cladding from the floor or the roof. Okay, so at that point we can say we're going to discard that. Max will buy the cladding in packs, and each pack of cladding covers 1.1 meters squared. Cladding can be cut and joined, so we use everything in a pack. Max knows that the 2 rectangular walls need 8.8 meters squared of cladding. So they've already calculated the area of the rectangular walls, so we don't need to do that. We can just use that information later. So all we've got are these 2 trapezium-shaped ends, which are identical. So let's work out the area of one of these ends. So I'm going to draw a little picture, which looks like that. So we're going to split it into 2 shapes that we know, one of which is going to be a rectangle and one of which is a triangle. So let's put some measurements on here. The base of this is 3 meters. The big height is 2.6, and the little height at the front is 1.8 meters. Okay, so we can calculate this length here because it is the difference between the 2.6 meters and the 1.8 meters. So I'll do that up here, 2.6, take away 1.8. 6 take away 8 we can't do, so we borrow 10. 16 take away 8. I've carried the decimal down, gives you 8. 1 take away 1 is 0. So this length here is 0.8 meters. So now I'm going to calculate the area of this shape, doing it in 2 separate parts. So I'm going to do the triangle, which is 3 meters by 0.8, and that is 3 times 0.8 divided by 2. and that gives you a value of, well, 3 lots of 0.8 gives you 2.4. So we'll do 2.4 divided by 2, which gives us 1.2 meters squared. So now we can work out the area of the rectangle, and that is 1.8 meters by 3 meters. So area of a rectangle is just base times height, so 3 times 1.8. We can calculate that. I would probably do it this way if I wasn't sure. 3 lots of 18 and put the decimal in afterwards, so 3 eighths are 24. 3 ones are 3. Adding the 2 gives you 5. Or 3 times 1.8 has got 1 decimal place. I'm going to put 1 decimal place back in, and our answer is 5.4. And then just to make sure I've got the decimal place in the right place, I'd kind of go, well, it's kind of 3 times almost 2. So 5.4 does look like the right answer. Okay, so the area of the whole of one of these sides is going to be those two shapes added together. So that is a 1.2 plus a 5.4 gives us a 6.6. And we're going to have another one of those. So you could either times 6.6 by 2, or you could just add another 6.6. And that would give you 2, 1, 6, 6, 12, 13.2. So that is the area of the two trapeziums. And we're going to add this 8.8 because that's the two rectangular walls. So we've got 13.2 plus 8.8, and that gives you 22 meters squared. So we know that each pack of cladding covers 1.1 meters squared. So there's a couple of ways that we could approach this. We could either say that we're going to go 22 divided by 1.1, okay, which I would then write as a little fraction to help me, and I would times it by 10 on the bottom and times it by 10 up top. So that's the same as 220 divided by 11. Well, 11's going to 22 twice. So the answer is 20. Another way of looking at it, so he's going to need 20 packs. Another way of looking at it is that 10 packs be 1.1 times 10, which is 11 meters squared. So 1.1 times 20 will give us the 22 meters squared. So he's going to need 20 packs.